Hi everybody. Hope everybody's doing well as you watch this video. A few days ago we put out a video about the loss of our cat Tiki, and George made the video. He had the pictures, and he did some speaking at the end, and I don't believe I would have been able to speak at that time, but I can now. This is about pet loss. And I'm sure many of our viewers have lost pets through the years, and that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about. Growing up as a little girl, I had some pets, not tons. The only time I had an inside pet was I had a cat once, and I begged Mom and Daddy to let me keep the cat inside. And they told me, well, it can stay inside, but you have to be responsible for the litter box. And, oh, yes, I will. After about a week, I decided, I was young, under 12 for sure. I did not like cleaning cat boxes, so the cat went outside, and that was the end of my indoor pets until I married George. Growing up, I did have a few dogs over the years. I don't remember ever having a dog from birth to death as while I was living home with my parents. As soon as George and I got married, we had pets. We had a little dog that lived in the house named Brandy. She was just a little mutt. She, we got her when she was weaned, and she chewed the heels off all my shoes and all that stuff that little dogs do. And we decided she would be better as an outside dog, and we had her for quite a while. And then we did have a little cat when we first got married. We got it from George's sister. It was a beautiful little cat, a Himalayan something, I don't remember. But she looked like a Siamese cat. And just beautiful. And we had got her as soon as she was weaned. And I would hold her up around my here, and she would get up on my neck and try to suck like she was trying to get some milk. And she would suck her paw. It was just the cutest thing ever. And then I found out I was pregnant, and being my first pregnancy, I realized I read everything in the world and believed everything I read. And I read a lot. Remember, this was in the 80s, about cats getting up in baby beds and suffocating their babies. And I told George I just didn't want to take the chance. And we gave the little kitten back to his sister. And then I miscarried and didn't have that child. But we kept trying until we had Matt. And so we did not have any other kittens or cats in the house, I do not believe, until we got Tiki. And let's see. We had a little dog in the house not too many years, probably 10 years ago. It was a little Chihuahua, and it was white. And if you look under the community tab of our channel and go way on down the list, there's a picture of little Buddy, Buddy, sitting in a mug. And he got parvo, and he didn't make it. We didn't have him very long. It was very hard, but at that time my dad was very sick, and I had to fly over and be with him. And as a matter of fact, as soon as I landed there and could get phone service, George called and told me that the little dog had not made it. He'd taken him to the vet, and they did everything they could, and he didn't make it. And it was hard, but I was dealing with my dad and stuff at that time, so that kind of, I guess, helped me. We had Sam. We got him in 1993 is when he was born. We got him when he was weaned, and we had him until he passed away in 2009. I know this is probably going to have a glare on it, but you can get the drift. I know there's a glare. But that was very, very, very difficult, and I do have some regrets with that. we had him all those years. He lived to be 16. His name was Samson, but we called him Sam. And he got down so bad that his hips had given out, and we had to take him to the vet and have him put down. My regret with that is we walked into the vet's office, and George was carrying Sam in, and they led us back to a room where they were going to euthanize him. And I was a mess. I just couldn't stand it, and I walked out. And that's my regret. I wish I had stayed with him while they gave him the shot, but I did not. And that was a very hard loss because we'd had him for so long. And then Tiki came along. As y'all know, we've told this story before. I guess all of our pets, except for Sam, have come from our children. Gooby came from Jared. Bama and Tex came from Jason. And Tiki came from Matt. And so when Tiki was born, Matt got her as a kitten. He was in a relationship, and they kept the kitten together. And then when that relationship broke up, they had a dog too. She took the dog, and Matt took the cat. And Matt had her 3 or 4 years, and right before we took her, Matt, Jason, and Jared were all living together in Dallas in a big 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. And Jason and Jared had dogs. And so Matt kept Tiki basically in his bedroom. It was a large enough bedroom, and it had an adjoining door to a Jack and Jill bathroom. So he would leave that door open so she could go in there to have more room. She had her litter box, she had her cat food, and there was a window in there for her to sit and look out of. And we went up there, and I believe it was, say, October of 2009. And we all decided that we thought Tiki would be good at our house. She would have plenty of room. She wouldn't have to be worried about dogs or anything like that. And Matt said since it was us, he felt good about it. And we brought her home. No more than we got her home, she went into heat and was making those horrendous cat noises when they are in heat. And so we went and got her fixed, and we also had her front toenails removed because we had brand new leather furniture at the time, and she was going to be an inside cat, and we didn't want her to tear up our furniture. So she was declawed, and she was very standoffish for a long time. She would not come sit in our lap. We fed her, we changed her litter box, and she did her own thing, and that was about it. And then, as time went on, a lot of time went on. As she got older, she became more comfortable, and I can remember sitting in my chair, and she came and sat up in my lap, and I was shocked because she'd never done that. And I reached over to pet her, and off she flew. So after that, if she would sneak up and sit with me, I wouldn't touch her, I wouldn't acknowledge it, I'd let her go at her pace. And then, of course, eventually it was where she did like to cuddle. And I guess that's what makes it harder. If she had remained that standoffish cat, maybe it wouldn't have been so hard, but she had become very loving, and it's a loss. The house is different. Y'all know I can't see, and I'll be walking through, and she might be laying there, and I'd step on her tail, and she'd scream, and I'd pick her up and love her and tell her I was sorry I couldn't see, and all that. I think Gooby has been looking for her. He's not in depression, I don't think, but that he saw her pass away. He was there with us. And the next morning, he did not go. I didn't take him outside when we buried her. I should have maybe, but I didn't. And the next morning, he had had food, he had had water, he had a bathroom, and he was still real sad acting, and I think he was just looking for her. I'm not sure. But all this pet loss is rough. You know, I just saw Jared's video where he lost JJ. And if y'all don't know who Jared is, that's our son, and you really need to go watch his channel, Jared Crocker. But it's just so sad to lose pets like that. And people had commented on the video, and they were telling us about the Rainbow Bridge, and I'd never heard of it before. I'm going to read that right now. See if I can make it a little bigger. Okay. The Rainbow Bridge. Oh, man, I messed it up. I'm just going to slip these glasses on. The Rainbow Bridge, inspired by a Norse legend. By the edge of the woods at the foot of a hill, in a lush green meadow where time stands still, where the friends of man and woman do run, when their time on earth is over and done. For here, between this world and the next, is a place where each beloved creature finds rest. On this golden land they wait and they play, till the rainbow bridge they cross over one day. No more do they suffer in pain or in sadness, for here they are whole, their lives filled with gladness. Their limbs are restored, their health renewed, their bodies have healed, with strength imbued. They romp through the grass without even a care, until one day they start and sniff at the air. All ears prick forward, eyes dart front and back, then all of a sudden one breaks from the pack. For just that instant their eyes have met, together again, both person and pet. So they run to each other, those friends from long past. The time of their parting is over at last. The sadness they felt while they were apart has turned into joy once more in each heart. They embrace with a love that will last forever, and then side by side they cross over together. And that's the Rainbow Bridge. I had never heard it before, so I thank you to all you guys that commented about that poem. I'm going to miss Tiki. It's kind of like that story I read not too long ago where the woman was fixing Easter dinner and she kept telling her husband to get out and leave her alone. With Tiki, I got tired of cleaning the litter box. Come on, if you have a cat, you know how it is. And so when she passed away that day, and after we'd buried her, I came in. And I wanted kind of Gooby to understand. He's sitting over there, that's why I'm looking. So I took out her litter box, took out her food, and I don't know if he understands or not, but her stuff is gone. And they shared the same water bowl. So on my list, next time I go to Dollar General, I'm getting a new water bowl for Gooby, and we're just going to change it up a little bit. I know that many of you have lost pets and have grieved. And I know that time heals and will get better. It's better than it was a few days ago, except when I'm talking about it. I can't remember what I've said and what I haven't said, but when Matt gave us the kitty, she had on a purple collar with a little bell, and she had on purple things on her front toenails. I guess that was to keep them from clawing up furniture and stuff, but you know, they kept falling off, and that's why we had her declawed. But she looked so cute. And then later on I changed to a green collar, which you saw in some of the pictures, and matched her green eyes. She was a beautiful cat. Pretty much took care of herself. She came to us when she needed loving, and when she didn't, she stayed to herself. I think she had a good life. We enjoyed her while she was here. I'm 61. I don't know how much longer I'll live, but let's just say I'm live to be 90 like Granny. I don't think I want another inside pet. I have Gooby. And I don't want any more inside pets. The dogs outside are plenty. And again, Sam was an outside pet. If y'all have seen our dog Sarge, you can tell they look very similar. I think the inside pets are harder to lose because you see them 24/7. And you all have been so nice to comment already about the loss of Tiki. Please don't feel like you need to do that again in these comments. Just maybe tell us about the pets you do have. Or tell me about the pets you've lost, but please, you don't have to go on and tell me you're sorry about Tiki, because all of you have already commented so much, and I felt the love coming from you. I guess all pet owners understand each other, and grieving the loss of a pet is hard, but we'll get over it, and if Rainbow Bridge is correct, we're going to be together again. So maybe I decided to put this video out for someone who has lost their pet recently and needed to see it. As I'm filming this, it is only the 3rd day after Tiki has passed. And so if someone is watching this right after they've lost their pet, I just want to say that, prayers for you, and things will get better. It just gets easier as time goes on. My time hasn't gone yet, only 3 days, but I don't know what else to say, but thank you so much for the outpouring of love that you've shown us. And if you still have a pet, go love it. If you don't, go look at some pictures of it today and reminisce. And just thank you, Jesus, for the time that we had with our pets, and they made our life better. So thank you for watching.